Let's visit with author, storyteller, and Excel MVP, Oz du Soleil.
All right.
Hey, how we doing?
Come on in. All right. Just
Thank you.
checking out a kaleidoscope, and I've got Alan Murray's book on Excel Advanced Formulas. So come on in on this Saturday evening.
Okay.
No, Sunday. It's Sunday.
Who's counting?
Yeah.
Collection of kaleidoscopes.
Yep.
Which, what's the name of this one with the beetle?
Oh, just beetle on it. Well, let's see. This one, I got the collector's cards because some of these are new. We've got Chicago, that's the world in a tube. And we've got the Stephen Gray, that's this one. Cosmic Wave by Steve and Peggy Kittleson is right there. And then Kojima, The Alchemy. That's what this one is.
Wow.
Yeah. And then these two are a collaboration by Hisano and Takabayashi. This one is by Randy and Shelley Knapp. This kaleidoscope was made in 2018 and they retired in 2019. And we got Luke and Sally Durrett right there, and a Surreal Little Oil.
How many kaleidoscopes do you own?
I think it's 31, and I've got 2 on the way, and 1 I'm collaborating with a maker on making me my own kaleidoscope based on what she does and what I want.
Oz, what's so fascinating about kaleidoscopes?
First of all, the beauty that's inside. And I don't know if you can see inside this. This is the TR1. Can you see inside it?
Oh, yeah.
All right, and then I tilt. And then we're gonna tilt.
Oh, wow, yeah. Look
Tilt
at that.
again.
Hey, look at that.
Yeah.
Oh, there's some special effects.
So that's the TR1.
Wow.
And it is, I don't know how well you can see it, but this is number 3 of 10.
One of a few.
Yes, number 3 of 10. And so I like the movement in here. Mark Tickle is the maker. He does a lot of layering with the mirror systems inside a kaleidoscope. And then you have things like this. Just another way to get the objects moving in a kaleidoscope. So this is by Michael Redmond, right? And he does all the woodwork and everything, and the mirror system inside is really beautiful. And then this one by the Duretts, this has 2 rings that turn. And so you get an added beauty, an added element that changes the view inside the scope. And it's calming, and there are no software updates, no pop-ups from marketers, no ad tech, and if somebody starts talking about a smart kaleidoscope that I can control with my phone, no. All that means is you're stealing data from me.
Do you have any other collections? Do you collect anything else?
Well, I do have a lot of hats, and I've been thinning them out. I gave away a few lately. This one was bought, it was custom when I was in Bulgaria the first time.
Okay, I got a few questions for you.
All right, hit me with them.
Oz, how would you describe yourself in 3 words?
Ornery, left-handed, and world citizen.
Okay, when did you first start using Excel?
I first touched it in I first touched Excel in 1998 and then started using it for real around 2001.
What was your first job out of school?
The U.S. Navy for 6 years.
Well, thank you for your service.
Yeah.
So, Oz, what is your favorite Excel function?
Depends on what we call Excel. All right. I'm going to answer in a way that includes Power Query, and I'm going to say all 6 of the joins: inner, anti, outer. That's my favorite Excel function feature.
Most underrated Excel function?
Count A.
Okay. Will Office scripts replace VBA?
I don't know. There's 2 things that I don't use.
3 most important things to learn in Excel for the workplace.
Pivot tables, the 6 joins in Power Query, and Power Query in general.
Will Excel for the web replace the desktop version?
I don't know. I hope not, because then that means being on an airplane and being forced to pay their $8 per flight for some janky internet connection.
Oz, do you ever use Google Sheets?
Only when I have to. If there's some people who I have to collaborate with, and they're deeply entrenched in Google Sheets.
Will Excel ever die?
We're all gonna die.
What
That's
is-
funny? That's not funny.
sorry, you're right. Morbid sense of humor. What is your favorite social media platform?
None of them.
Why is your YouTube channel called Excel on Fire?
Because I think about data as this thing that can be really great or really awful. And it doesn't even have to be bad data to be awful, but just used in a wrong way, used in a pernicious way. And so, like fire, you can roast just some marshmallows and make some s'mores, or you can be some spurned lover and burn somebody's house down. The whole gamut.
What software do you use to make your videos?
Camtasia.
And who is your favorite fellow MVP?
See, there's so many. I mean, this is always hard to answer. And I would say Bill Jelen, because he has done so much for the overall Excel community. And I describe him as the father of anybody who's made a career from Excel. Because Excel is a tool. It's not like being a database admin or something. But then there's so many great ones. You got Layla Garani and what she's done to expand the visibility of Excel and show what it can be. You got Boriana and Excel Days in Bulgaria, community, and one of the best events I participated in. Cristiano Galvão in Brazil, he's one of my favorites. Victor Momo, so many. You got Mahmoud in Iran, he's got a great following. You know, it's hard to say, but definitely Bill Jelen, if I had to pick one.
Okay. The Global Excel Summit 2024 is due to take place in London as the first hybrid event of its kind. Will you be joining us in person?
If I'm invited, hell yeah, I will be there.
Oz, where do you get your charisma from?
I don't know, it's been a lot, but I can tell you this. I've got 2 uncles that they both passed, Frank Floyd and Bobby Floyd. They were session singers in New York City, and they've sang with Steely Dan, Ashford and Simpson, lots of commercials. When an act like Al Green would come to New York and be on the David Letterman show, he doesn't bring his whole band and backup singers and stuff to do that, but they call my uncles Frank and Bobby to back him up during the show. So I just wonder if some of that is part of me.
Oz, what does a typical day look like?
I don't have a typical day. The only thing I can say is before I go to bed, I watch an episode of Twilight Zone.
Oz, what's the most challenging thing you've ever done?
Survived homelessness from October 98 through April 99.
Wow. Do you play any musical instruments?
I used to play bass for a few years.
Do you have any pets? Okay. He looks healthy.
Yes, very much so. That is a Catalina goat named Dignity, and reminds me of the animal is worthy of dignity, even though it's hanging on the wall. It reminds me to treat other people with dignity, and that I deserve to be treated with dignity.
Favorite all-time movie?
Wait Until Dark, the one with Audrey Hepburn and Alan Arkin and Ephraim Zimbalist Jr., but Alan Arkin, that's one of my favorite acting performances.
Oz, is it tea or is it coffee?
Apple juice here, coffee when I'm having a cigar.
Mornings or evenings?
Evenings.
City or countryside?
City or open roads, like those open roads in the middle of Nevada.
VLOOKUP, index match, or XLOOKUP?
Whatever works, but also add in there outer joins.
What plans do you have for the rest of the year?
Possibly move to Las Vegas. I am planning to go to the Kaleidoscope weekend in October in Jerome, Arizona. That's about it. Well, more than that, I'm going to do some other things, but that's what's happening.
One program or coding language you want to learn?
I want to learn how to build kaleidoscopes.
What is the best way for a newbie to learn Excel?
Dig into the workbooks of people who are better than you. See why things hang together the way they do, the way they write the formulas, the way they organize things and set up lookup tables. Dig into the workbooks of people who are better than you.
What aspect of Excel is your biggest strength?
Data cleansing.
And weakness?
VBA coding. I've done a lot of it. I just hate doing it.
Favorite Excel feature?
Power Query.
What don't you like about Excel?
All these different versions. And every time I post a video, there's somebody saying, I don't have that. Oh boy. Okay, well.
Where will Excel be in 10 years?
I don't know. Say, let's go for a drive, all right?
Okay.
How about that?
Sounds good to me.
Oh, here, I'm got to put my shoes on.
Oz, how will Excel evolve in an increasingly AI-driven world?
I don't know. Bill Jelen and I recorded a video a while ago. A week later, it was obsolete. So, I don't know. Get in the car.
Oz, how do you relax and unwind?
I drive. I look at the kaleidoscopes. But a big thing, especially during the lockdowns, and there was nowhere to go, I spent a lot of time just getting in the car. That's how I relax. Oh, and I would go to the casino and play roulette.
What's the secret to playing roulette?
I'll tell you two things. One, let's say you plan to, you're okay with losing $100. Start with $200 worth of chips, so that if you get down 90, you aren't sitting there with 10 chips and panicking. you know you got 110 chips, and just visually and mentally it's okay. And the second thing is, when it stops being fun, get up and go home.
What's your favorite color, Oz?
Alizarin crimson, very specific shade of red.
Okay. What is your favorite beer?
A bourbon barrel aged stout, because it kills all of the beer flavor and bitterness. It brings in a sweetness and it tastes good.
Favorite month of the year?
May.
Oz, do you have a penchant for cigars?
I enjoy cigars. They are relaxing. Yeah, my first cigar came on a dark day in my life, and I sat down in my room with a cigar, and it was calm and relaxing. And now it's a social thing. When I go on road trips and I pull into a city, I look for a cigar lounge, because I know that I'm going to meet some really good people.
Can you name all the countries you visited?
Oh, Canada, Singapore, Hungary, Brazil. Oh, a lot. There's been a lot. Bulgaria a couple of times. Like, did I mention Brazil, Australia, Tunisia, Pakistan, Italy, Spain, Israel.
That's quite a list.
Yes.
Do you have a favorite holiday destination?
I don't know about holidays. I stay home on holidays.
Where would you like to visit that you haven't already been?
Nigeria, because I need to meet Mr. Victor Momo, Michael Olafosi, and then hop over to Ghana and meet Bernard Boateng.
Do you have any phobias or fears?
Being old, sick, and broke.
How many books have you written?
Oh, there was the collaboration with the 15 other MVPs. I've written 2 books in the Guerrilla Data Analysis series. A couple of ebooks. So, however, I didn't write that collaboration myself. So you count it however you want to count it.
So, what car do you drive?
We are in a Mazda CX-30 right now.
So, what's the meaning behind your trademark Red Mohican?
I call it my rooster thing. I don't call it a Mohawk or a Mohican. It's my rooster thing. Have you ever seen a rooster? Right? But really, during the lockdowns, my barber was struggling and I was doing okay. And so I decided to help her out and get a more interesting haircut. Something that, she could charge me more for. And so we played and we came up with this.
Excel or Power BI?
Excel.
Why?
Power BI's output is graphics. I rarely do anything with graphics. Also, there is a barrier where you can't use Power BI with Gmail, Hotmail, Yahoo. You got to have your own domain, and that locks out a lot of small businesses and solopreneurs that use those email accounts. So it's just this weird thing that I just leave it alone.
What is your favorite kind of music?
I don't so much have a favorite music, but I'll tell you this. My favorite vocalist, Javon. I finally got to see him in concert a couple of weeks ago in LA. My favorite. I've been listening to him for so long, and because he's in Brazil, and he rarely comes to the US, it was a real treat to see him live. Right.
Yeah, thank you for speaking with us.
No problem, no problem. I enjoyed being asked to participate in this. Really appreciate it. Hope you got something out of it.
Thank you for your work, Oz.